The first thing that hit you when you see the Sony Xperia 5 is this stretch out design. This is because now that we have a screen that has a ratio by 21:9. In your hands, do you get that feeling of a candy bar? A little bit more expensive than the usual one, but still that feeling with this slim design. I can feel that Sony now has gone more towards those rounded corners on their phones. And this is a design we can see on most smartphones today. And this is a design I really like and is quite fond of. So here do I think that Sony has made an excellent job designing this phone. On the curved edge on the side, so do we not just have the buttons, but we also have the fingerprint reader. This is not my favorite placement as I'm left-handed, but you get used to it quite fast. But unfortunately it does not work that perfect, so quite often do you have to press a couple of times until you can unlock the phone. The buttons is also for me placed a little bit odd, as you have them where you hold your hand. So sometimes have pressed them by mistake. So here would be interesting to hear what you think about the placement, both about the buttons as the fingerprint reader. So type a comment below and tell me what you think. Side sensing is something we still see on Sony smartphones. A double tap or slide on the side of the screen give you some easy access functions. Unfortunately, is this function not that reliable. You quite often have to try a couple of times to get it to work. So this is something that I don't use that often. The 6.1-inch screen is perfect for Twitter and Instagram, as you have that 21:9 ratio. That makes you see more of all that media flow that you consume. Are you watching a lot of movies, so can you also take advantage of that 21:9 ratio, as many movies has that ratio. But you are watching YouTube, so can you get black bars on the side, as most video has that 16:9 ratio. But also does the screen deliver good colors and brightness. When we look at movies or listen to music, so we here have stereo speakers, and that is always appreciated. The sound is overall okay. I only wish that I was a little bit more punch in the sound, a little bit higher volume. Where I feel that there have been some improvements is the dynamic vibration, a vibration function that are synchronized to the sound. Here do I still feel that it needs a little bit more tweaking before it gets that little bit extra sound experience. Cameras is always important on smartphones today, and here on the front we have Sony given us an 8-megapixel lens. On the back we have 3 12-megapixel lenses. 2 are zoom lenses and 1 are my favorite lenses on smartphones today, the super wide-angle lens. The pictures and videos is overall satisfying with the good sharpness and clarity. It's only with the super wide-angle lens that I sometimes can feel that the sharpness is not there, especially in darker environments. As always, I've never been fond of Sony's camera software. It's not that fast and you have some childish icon for some extra modes, like panorama and so on. You also have to give every mode permission to access the phone. A bit annoying to do for every mode. But for you who like to take your video recording to the next level, so do we here have Cinema Pro, a software that gives you some extra features. You can even set different focus points that you can switch between. So here can you be a little more creative with your video recording if you like. To help us have a great experience here on the phone, so do we here have a Snapdragon 855 and 6 GB of RAM. Scrolling to social media and even playing game have it done by ease. So Sony Xperia 5 is a great phone when it comes to speed and everyday use. Even when it comes to battery times, and has it done a good job here. It's not the biggest battery out there today, but we have a 3140 mAh battery, and that's good enough now when we have a smaller screen. And as we know, the screen is one of the biggest power consuming things on the phone today. The Xperia 5 is a phone that is close to be a flagship phone, but I feel that Sony maybe have held back a little bit when it comes to specifications and need to work on that camera software and think of the placement of the buttons. But when you pick up the price, so is this around 700 when I'm doing this video. But I drop a link to updated prices below. And as I said before, so is my favorite feature, the super wide-angle lens. A lens that I think that every smartphone should have today. But with that said, guys, it's time for me to end up here, guys. But if you like to support my channel, so press that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming reviews. But for now, guys, it's time to me to say over and out.